Hello guys, Let's Play here. So we're doing a review of WAKKA ahead of his release in Chapter 6. We're going through his gameplay and then going through his passives. And I'll be saving a review of his relics until I do a relic review of the Chapter 6 banner. So without further ado, let's go on with the show. So let's talk WAKKA in battle. So WAKKA is a ranged attacker, and he's more of a support kind of a character. His first ability is called Dark Attack. Dark Attack is a one-hit braved ranged attack, and it blinds the target for 1 turn. Then WAKKA's second ability is called the Great Daring. So what happens with Great Daring is you get a small increase to your brave depending on how high your attack is. Then after that your brave is multiplied by 1.2. After doing that, there's a small chance of getting a medium attack up buff, medium defense up buff, and a medium speed up buff for 4 turns. Now the way it works is that each buff is decided independently, so there's a chance you could get all 3 at once, or just none at all. So that's one thing to know about WAKKA. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate the Dark Attack now. And as you guys know, blind reduces the chances of you being hit. But it's not fail proof, so you can still get hit on the rare occasion, but it's a nice attack to use. I use it for battles against Malboro when I've forgotten to take unit and I get ambushed, because there is a good chance that the Malboro's bad breath can miss. So that's one thing to note. Now we're going to use Great Daring, and hopefully we get all 3 buffs, but most likely we'll only get 1, if we're lucky. So yeah, you guys can see, that's kind of how you use WAKKA really. You kind of build him up, then you wait till the perfect moment to use Great Daring, get your brave up super higher than HP attack. If not, then you can support your allies with Dark Attack, so making enemies miss, which can save you from getting broken and can sometimes save you from getting a HP attack as well. But the problem with blind is that it's very anecdotal. I mean, for me, I can get quite lucky with it, but I can imagine there'll be people who have and do not get lucky with this at all, and will think, yeah, this guy sucks. And I couldn't be able to blame me for that, because WAKKA's pretty much a luck-based character. A lot of his effects do revolve around being quite lucky, so yeah. But if he suits your playstyle, then that's the main important thing. Like, you're getting characters and you're really pulling for the characters that suit your way of playing. But that's pretty much all to WAKKA. There's nothing else to him other than that. Nice. Moving on, we'll talk about his passives. Right, so let's talk WAKKA and his passives. Before I go into this though, I just want to say that I am trying a different format for this video. So I am using Dissidia DB. I did see some suggestions to get some kind of writing on the screen, or to outright just use Dissidia DB. I did ask the owner and they gave me their blessing. So thankfully I can use this now. I was very cautious about doing it before, so now that I know I can, I will be using this in more videos. I would love your feedback and comments on this. Hopefully you all enjoy this. So let's look at WAKKA's passive, shall we? So at Crystal Strength level 5, WAKKA learns Dark Attack Power Up, which slightly raises the damage of Dark Attack. This is an okay passive to have, but my only gripe is a playstyle kind of gripe, and that is if I'm using Dark Attack, I'm using Dark Attack because I'm worried about something coming that I really need to try and avoid, and because of that, I don't care about damage. I care all about getting that blind up, but getting a potential break as well is an added bonus, so that's something to consider. Next up at Crystal Strength 10 is Brave Guard Up. Brave Guard Up slightly increases WAKKA's defense power when his brave is over 50%. I'm very hit and miss on these kind of passives, because at the end of the day, if my brave is at this level, I kinda am looking towards getting a HP attack off, and because of that, I don't find having extra defense is going to be all that great. But on the plus side, that means that if my Braves are good value and I can't attack for reasons like a boss using an AoE or WAKKA's being targeted, that means that I take less damage. So that's another thing. That's a good thing about this one. At Crystal level 15, we get bonus up all, which slightly increases the break bonus gained by everyone after breaking an enemy. This combo is quite well with dog attack power up, providing that you get the break. So if you do break with WAKKA, then that means everyone gets more brave. So this one is really dependent on WAKKA doing it, unfortunately. So WAKKA will be the one who has to get the break in order to get the bonus from this. Well, we're going to be skipping 20 because at 20, WAKKA gets Great Daring. But at Crystal level 25, he gets Great Daring Light, which is the action delay after using Great Daring. I think this is one of WAKKA's better passives, because if we're using Great Daring, we're looking to gain more Brave and then go in for an attack as well afterwards. This combos with his if you get speed from it as well, because the speed and the reduced delay means that our turn comes around a lot quicker and we can get that HP attack in. Next up at 30 is Buff Speed Up. Buff Speed Up again, it's another fantastic passive. Works wonders with Great Daring because you'll get a buff, and if you do get the speed up, that stacks as well. And you look at there with light, that's so many stacking effects of speed, which means that your turn will come so much quicker, and that is really, really good. I think that this is one of the ones that you really should have equipped, and I can't believe anyone wouldn't have this equipped, given WAKKA's playstyle. Next up is Dark Attack Light. Dark Attack Light reduces the action delay after using Dark Attack. Another one that's pretty good. It's always good to have these reduced action delays because that means that your turn comes around quicker. If you get a potential break from Dark Attack, that means you can get a HP attack in as well, maybe really quickly, and attack again. So that's always much appreciated. So then at level 40, this one is Great Daring Attack Up. Now, I'm not a fan personally of this one. For reasons I've already mentioned. If I'm using Great Daring, in my mind, I'm looking to get HP attack off. And because it lasts for only one turn, that means that to get the most out of this, when you use Great Daring, you then need to attack as well afterwards with a Brave Attack, or use Dark Attack and the whatnot. And because of that, I think that's... I mean, it's only good if you don't get enough Brave for a decent HP attack, but you probably will be, because you're not going to be using Great Daring when you have low Brave, though. So, not a real fan of Great Daring Attack Up. If the attack power for one turn just isn't that great, and you can't afford to not use this, because if you do get the attack buff from using Great Daring, then you're fine. You don't really need to worry about that, do you really? At Crystal level 45, we get Great Daring Charge. Can't say anything of more than it's always good to have more uses of Great Daring. So this is really good. Make sure it's equipped. At Crystal Strength level 50, we conclude with Auric Spirit. With Auric Spirit, you can counter it and avoid the enemy attack with a Brave Attack. Now, just one thing to note, this doesn't happen all the time, so you can avoid an enemy attack and it won't trigger. I'm not a fan of Auric Spirit. It's a lot of CP for an effect that's not great. It's not all the time, so it won't always activate, and it's just a counter of a normal Brave Attack when it does activate, and it's just not really all that ideal. To get the most out of it, the boss has to be either blinded while using an AoE attack, or he's targeting WAKKA. It's not one that you really need. I don't find that this is an essential one for WAKKA, and you're better off saving your CP for something else. But that's pretty much my review of WAKKA's passives, and subsequently this will be the end of the video. I will be going over WAKKA in the future, so for those who want to just get off the ride and not be spoiled, then you can stop the video now. But for now, I'll be moving on to the next section where I talk about WAKKA in the future. Alright guys, see you in a bit. So let's talk WAKKA in the current JP meta. So unfortunately, WAKKA did fade away. His dark attack was eclipsed by Vaughn because Vaughn could deal blind whilst doing high amount of HP damage with White Wall and Luminescence. And the Great Daring was just such a gimmicky attack that it just meant that there were people who could get Brave a lot better and quicker than WAKKA could. So he ends up being quite a low tier character. Well, WAKKA did get a very good exclusive, which we will be going over in a bit. And he hasn't got a level break as of yet. So his potential is still there. So don't give up on him just yet. But just know that right now he isn't at the best he could be. But we're hoping that the level break can fix that, because level breaks have been game changing for some characters. Look at Laguna, for example, who shot up extremely high after his level break. So he's hoping the same can apply to WAKKA one day. So let's talk WAKKA's exclusive. So WAKKA will get a future exclusive called the Double Penalty. And what this happens is, what this will do is it will increase Great Daring's max use by 1. It increases Brave gain and also lowers the action delay. Also, you get these success rate increased for increase of attack up, defense up, and speed up. And also, it makes those buffs stronger for WAKKA and extends the durations as well. And then finally, it gives WAKKA a high max Brave buff for 6 turns. Now, as you guys can see, that's a lot of effects. So the devs did try to turn WAKKA's fortune around with its exclusive, which is really good. Like, I did use a friend WAKKA for once, and I found that WAKKA could do some really good damage with his abilities once you had the Blitz Soul affinity ability active. So there's still really hope for WAKKA. I reckon that once he gets level break, that'll make him even better than he currently is. And I see no reason why he can't join the high echelons one day. I really can't. But this is my review of WAKKA overall. I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I thank you all for watching as always. And I'll see you for the next video. And also, show a little love to that subscribe button. And the like button too. Alright, bye bye.